This is your brain.
I'm so excited.
Think before you strike. Any questions?
Coming to you live from the Lakewood Library, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is the After School Special. My name is James Rhodes.
My name is Jose.
I'm Melissa.
And we are the Knights of the Lunch Table. Here today, we all went and saw Thor. We got some recommendations we'd like to give out. And we got some new stuff that we want to go over. Starting off today, we're going to have some morning announcements. This is a section where we briefly go over some news topics of the week that interest us. We got 3, 4 of them today?
Yeah, just kind of quick, simple.
Yep, simple
Ready to
stuff. Well, not very simple because, guys, I don't know if you know, hell froze over.
Right.
Yes.
You've been saying that.
Well, because it happened.
Right.
Brian Michael Bendis has left Marvel for DC Comics.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're me...
If you're James.
I have been a fan of Bendis for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I met the man once. It was the craziest experience of my life. I was 12 years old. He told me good luck with my comic.
It's probably like a spiritual experience.
No, it was...
It truly was. Like, I sat in the front row. There was this big Q&A and shit. It was fucking fun. It was awesome.
No, was he like, good luck, little guy? He was like, good luck.
No, he was serious.
I'll see you on the battlefield.
He was sincere. I was talking to some dude in the crowd. I walk up front and he signs one of my issues of Ultimate Spider-Man, or 2 or 3 of them, I think. Mm-hmm. And then I shake his hand. I'm like, thank you, sir. And he's like, yeah, good luck with your comic, kid. I wasn't even talking to him. He was just he just happened to hear me.
Oh, there you go.
Exactly, yeah. So this is crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, this man's been writing for Marvel since like 1999, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's like getting a divorce.
You know, it's funny. He had a tweet about it, and he was like, "Change is good, changes." And I'm just like, you know, we need to see other people.
It's not you, it's me.
We've just grown apart.
I think we just need some time. Is all. I just think we need some time. I am frankly very excited for this because I've been wanting to see him in DC for years. There's so many characters. I think
It's probably the missing element.
Well, I mean, DC's been making big power moves lately in terms of just yanking people up. And I think they've decided that if we can't beat them at the movies,
we'll beat them somewhere else.
We're gonna beat them in the comics, and they've been doing it.
There's some crazy shit going on with the movies. I don't know if you know about that.
We'll get to that.
All right.
Because I did want to bring that up because that's not happening. But I still think we should talk about it because that would have been the definite confirmation that hell froze over. Yeah, I'm really excited about this Bendis thing because he writes a very kind of quippy, fast-paced sort of story, something that would fit for like a Nightwing or a Teen Titans or something like that. And when he has kind of smaller books, like he tried to write Guardians, and it was just not...
It's not him.
Yeah, it didn't fit him. Hard sci-fi, and he's got it, with the Gabba Juju beads and all this shit. just techno-babble, you know what I mean? And it just wasn't a good
fit. Wormhole at a 90-degree angle.
I mean, he created Jessica Jones, which is basically like a noir comic. Right. And then Powers 2 and Jinx as well, which Jinx I haven't read, but I've read a little bit of Powers. And so he mostly focuses on crime stuff. A lot of people are like, he's getting Batman. He's going to take Batman from Tom King, the guy who's writing it right now. And it's just like, I don't think so.
There's other things than Batman in DC.
Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, he'll just get his own Batman book. And it's like, why? Please, no. Like, we don't need I think there's like 7 Batman books out right now. There's regular-ass Batman. There's All-Star Batman. Detective Comics.
Is there like a couple God runs that he's doing right now? Where he's like the God of Wisdom and the God of War? And
no.
They got pancakes and...
What?
I don't know.
No, he was the God of Wisdom for a little bit in Darkseid War. Because he was sitting on the Mobius chair, which I'm sure people are just fucking turning off their shit right now. Just like, fucking Mobius chair.
They didn't like it. I like the concept of it.
I thought the idea of Batman knowing everything is cool because Batman does kind of know everything. Right. So literally giving him...
He anticipates everything.
Yeah.
Right.
But that was where they came up with the whole 3 Jokers thing.
Right.
Is because he's like, what's the Joker's real name? That's not possible. And then just moved, and then never acknowledged that until until Rebirth happened. And then it was like, oh shit, there's 3 of them.
There's 3.
Which I don't think they've actually addressed yet. I think they're still
possibly
tap dancing around that shit. But yeah, because he left his baby, Miles Morales, behind. He left Riri Williams behind, which was also his baby. He's been doing he's been on like 5, 6, 7 books over at Marvel. Like, he's been working his ass off, so maybe that's why he left. He was like, fuck it, I'm out of here.
It could also be that he's just like, well, these are the characters that I've worked with for years. Like, I want something new.
Well, supposedly, I was reading another article, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if it's actually true or not, but like 6 months ago, maybe a little bit longer, a spokesperson for Marvel was basically like, yeah, diversity doesn't sell. And apparently, according to this article, Brian Michael Bendis had a huge issue with him saying that, because here's this guy who is responsible for Luke Cage being as popular as he is.
Right.
Like, and has spent almost his entire career trying to build characters outside of the status quo, and he's trying to, while the dude's writing his event book, he's trying to tell him that diversity doesn't sell.
Oh, Jesus.
So a lot of people are saying that was the nail in the coffin. I don't know. I wasn't fucking there. But all I know is I want him on Green Arrow really bad. Because I think he would be a great fit for Green Arrow. Because I think that's quippy, and I don't think he'd be a good fit for Batman. I don't know if he could take Batman seriously enough. So, yep, good luck to you, Mr. Bendis. And I hope you I hope your run at DC is fucking amazing, because people are shitting on him. And they're like, oh, fucking, I'm so glad he's gone. I was so afraid of him ruining my characters even further. Shut the fuck up. God. I hope he fucking gets there and starts doing gangbusters. So the first comic book writer to sell 1 million copies in like 20 years.
There you go. That would be pretty cool.
So, more sad news. It's a lot of bad news today, honestly. It's a lot of stuff that jumped out. Telltale laid off like 90 employees. Apparently restructuring and trying to go with engines that'll lead to quicker games coming out quicker. I mean, people shit on the Telltale games, but I'm outside of the Xbox One version of Wolf Among Us was real glitchy. Like, I remember the last episode, it was like, it would stutter, stop for maybe like a minute and a half, and then would start chugging forward again, and it would still be super like choppy, and the frame would be off. Like,
but you played it when it first launched.
But on the 360, it wasn't like that. Is what I'm saying.
Well, I downloaded it when it was free for Xbox.
Right. And I played it on the Xbox One. I had no issues, but I mean, time can fix that kind of stuff. But time is something that they apparently don't have.
I mean, with all these closures and stuff like that, it's
crazy.
It's making me a little nervous, honestly. Like,
for Telltale?
Well, for the game industry in general.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
I don't remember who it was. It was either Jason Schreier or Patrick Klepek, who, and they're video game journalists. And basically, I think one of them has been saying for weeks, has just been tweeting out, the video game industry is unsustainable. And then, like, every time one of these things, the video game industry is unsustainable. Part fucking whatever. Like, and it's
part
just
30.
And honestly, like, it's one of those things where people tried to predict the crash like almost 10 years ago. And now no one's trying to predict the crash, and all these sites are all these places are shutting down. All these games are getting canceled left and right, and it's.
Well, I mean, this leads into the next story where companies are kind of more in favor of the loot crate system. You know what I mean, or the loot box, not the
loot boxes and shit.
But
thank your game of choice for that.
My game of choice.
Yeah, you're the Overwatch guy.
Oh, fuck you. Overwatch has nothing to do with this shit.
What the fuck? Overwatch is where it started.
Overwatch is completely cosmetic. It is optional.
Yeah, you still pay for them.
It is not play to win.
You still pay for them.
No, it is
they
not. They
still offer you the ability to pay $200.
Listen, there's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. Overwatch does it the right way. That's all I'm saying.
Because he says so.
What you're paying for is...
It's skins.
Like you said, it's cosmetic. You're not paying
it's
for like extra abilities or like certain like skills that make you better at the game or like make you OP.
Yeah.
Like
so. Well, and the other thing I'm seeing in this Telltale article, it almost sounds like they're going to kind of go away from the adaptations, their own IPs, or that's what it kind of read like in another article I read. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that sounds, I don't know.
That's
because Telltale basically has been doing...
I think they did a great job with Wolf Among Us, and it's not that well known, So to take an IP that small and kind of blow it up the way they did, I think it was really cool. So to see something come out of them that's completely original, I think it would be kind of cool to see.
It would be.
But I would love to have them keep doing the adaptations.
They had like 400 employees or something like that.
Oh, okay.
They were just like...
I didn't think they were that big.
I guess because of how big their games have been and how many they're making at the same time. The Wolf Among Us, and then after that it was Walking Dead, and then Season 2,
and then Batman and the Guardians,
and then Batman, Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones. Like, you know, there's so many different ones that they've been doing, and maybe they're more saying that they're just gonna cut back and not do as many at the same time.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what they're saying, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
I mean, like, if they're not gonna do it, who is?
Right.
I do like gave out adaptations. Like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, no one really is doing the click and point except for them.
The Don't Nod people who did Life is Strange.
And indie. And indie developers.
Well, yeah, but of that kind of game, it's really just, you're right, it's like Telltale and Don't Nod, basically.
Right.
Like, we're moving on to the next story. So, Jose kind of brought this one up. Hold on. Time out. Do you have anything you wanted to add to this? No?
We're set.
Okay. So, Jose kind of brought this one up. But I have 2 articles pulled up here, and I don't take them with a grain of salt. But basically, Gamer Sutra is saying that
Gamma
Sutra. They said that Ubisoft has their microtransactions have finally out-earned their digital game sales.
Not surprised.
I mean, yeah, because it's a lot smaller, so people feel more compelled to like $10, $10, $10. But it's scary.
It is. We're probably going to be looking at an age where games are just going to be these grandiose multiplayer games with loot box sprinkled in.
I mean, basically, they're going to be what mobile games have been for the last 15 years.
Because there's nothing more frustrating than getting a game, playing it for a little while, building up, and everything's running smooth. Like, oh yeah, it takes 5 minutes. Da, da, da.
You have to wait
fucking
4
day?
hours for like this
Jesus
many
fucking
gems.
Christ! And that's where I leave the game. There, it's like, fuck you. I'm not putting that much time into it.
And that's the thing is like everyone's like, you know, oh, this is not the death of single player.
Like, who are you trying to convince?
Right.
Yeah.
Us or yourself?
Exactly. Like
There could. I mean, we talked about outside the show. One day there could be an industry without Nintendo. You know.
But with the success of the Switch, I don't know about that.
Right.
Like, I was just about
to say.
I was completely wrong about that. So I was thinking this next one was going to fucking tank them. And now I'm sitting here pissed because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get a Switch. Like,
yeah, I mean, in companies, they're scrambling to get something out on the Switch because of how well they've been selling. You know what I mean? Even Square Enix is like, we're looking to put more games on this thing, and any IP is up for grabs at this point.
That's fucking crazy.
So we might get like a RPG 2, Mario RPG 2.
You know what? How about we just stop with that and finish Kingdom Hearts 3?
How about that?
Yeah,
please.
Let's do that.
For the love of God.
Yeah. Fuck this Final Fantasy VII
Like,
remake. Fuck that shit.
Don't even look in any other direction because you guys.
Yeah, you guys need to pull
think
the reins
I
back.
need it for myself.
No, I'm with you.
Uh-huh.
Take they have the thing that they put in the horse's mouth to rear him around. They have that in Tetsuya Nomura's mouth right now. You need to pull him away from Final Fantasy VII and pull him over in that direction towards Kingdom Hearts 3 because no one is trying. Look, I know everyone's all fucking crapping themselves.
I think we've seen one thing for that game each year.
Yeah, because they had the trailer in 2015.
Right.
They had the sort of gameplay trailer, sort of not
right.
in 2016, and they haven't shown anything this year. As far
I
as
thought they had the orchestra thing with the... Or is that a different game? No, I think that was God of War.
That was God of War, yeah. And that was last year, too, which was still fucking cool.
Yeah, no, like, with that last little tease they gave us, I was like, this is, like, the worst thing I've ever felt in my life.
We're working on it, we promise.
Swear.
It's the same,
I feel like you're tearing my arm off slowly.
I mean, honestly, we have to be coming up on 15 years, which is how long it took them to get Final Fantasy 15 out. So... The way I see it, we're due for a game at some point. Like, and if not, you and I can go to Japan with some steel chairs.
I don't want just any game. I just want Kingdom Hearts 3.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We can go to Japan with some steel chairs and go through that office and just start beating people up until they give us what we want. Like, because this is bullshit. But this microtransaction, I mean, people have been warning about it. It's been on the horizon for years, and honestly, I'm like, I buy VC when I play 2K because I just.
What the fuck is VC?
It's virtual currency that you earn in the game by playing.
Holy shit, it's a mobile game.
Yeah, pretty much. That you earn by playing. I don't want to say matches.
Do you
by
have to wait to play each match?
By playing games against other teams and stuff like that. But the problem is, if you're like me and you're not very good at 2K and you only play on Pro, sometimes hard, depending on if you're feeling froggy, the shit doesn't stack up fast enough and you can't level your dude up, and your dude's sitting there like 66 getting swatted. And so you have to send $20 their way so I can level my dude's stats up, and so he's not getting swatted off the backboard anymore.
It's awful.
That's slimy though.
There's people that like they anticipate it, they save up, they work really hard to get this game that they're really excited about, only to not be able to play it because everyone's so overpowered because they keep buying their way in to win.
And to me, it's like it's even worse for the dudes who buy VC and then play online, because then they'll just like run people like 21-0 on courts and shit, and then that'll be that. Like that's why I don't even play online.
I want to know the fuckers that can spend $100 plus on these things a month.
It's their mom's money.
Can I have that credit card?
Or they do have a job, but they don't have to pay rent or anything else.
Yeah.
And they just spend it on that.
Again, there's a good way to do loot boxes, and there's a bad way to do loot boxes.
I would argue that Overwatch is just as responsible, whether they did it well or not. They are completely responsible for the rise of loot boxes as it stands right now.
I would say they're responsible for it, but they're not the ones to blame necessarily.
No, because it ultimately comes down to the consumer, and people have to stop buying this shit, which is never going to happen.
Look, listen.
Because if people want it, they're going to buy it.
Would you much prefer a 2K game where, you pay a certain dollar amount and then all of a sudden you can get like crazy ass wigs or masks or mustaches or, you...
Arm sleeves,
tattoos, whatever,
compression shorts.
Just to make a guy look cool, or you can also buy him on a marketplace, or do you prefer having to purchase shit just to win a game?
Well,
that's depressing to me.
Listen, the loot boxes as they stand right now, I have not seen a game do loot boxes prior to Overwatch, and then now it's pretty ubiquitous,
right?
So, and I'm sure there's like loot and stuff like that in other games, but the specific, like the whole...
It was Smite.
It was Smite. Are we blaming Smite for...
No one plays Smite anymore. Fuck Smite.
Yeah.
Does anyone... Yeah, I was actually... Does anyone play Smite?
I don't know.
Like...
That came and went quick.
Dota 2 and...
Dota 2 and LoL are still alive, I think.
And
but I haven't heard anything about Smite.
I mean, League of Legends is still the biggest drawer in esports, right? Like,
it's huge.
Yeah. And then Smite, they were just like, get this shit out of here.
They tried.
I liked the game, but I was just like, fuck
No,
this.
you didn't. You fucking hated that game.
After a while, I was like, fuck this! You can't play this!
So, Ubisoft is going to continue selling individual Raving Rabbids.
Oh my god. Is that what they're doing?
I don't think so.
In order to play one complete game, you
in order to play Mario Raving Rabbids, you have to buy individual Raving Rabbids on your squad. I would just fucking throw my Switch out at that point.
Oh my god. Just a game.
So, there's one more thing we're going to talk about. It's another comic book related thing. And
Okay.
you wanted to bring this up, so I'll let you have the floor, buddy.
What did I want to bring up?
All right.
This is why we have notepads.
Yeah.
So, a report came out earlier this week that for a brief moment, Marvel was considering buying the entertainment side of 21st Century Fox.
Oh, did I bring that up?
Yeah, I thought that's what you were going to talk about.
I was going to talk about the retcon happened in the DCMU.
Or
DC.
There is no DCEU anymore.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
They've kind of just...
They're going to do Flashpoint, retcon everything.
Yeah, they're going to do Flashpoint, and then everything else is going to be standalone after that.
And Batfleck's going to flick everyone off and just be like, fuck you guys, I don't want to do this anymore.
No, I think he wants to. Matt Reeves is a fucking incredible director, and I think he's going to jump at the chance.
Well, he had an interview saying, Matt Reeves is awesome, but who knows if I'm going to stay for all 5 movies.
Well, here's the thing is, he kind of flip-flops on that, because for a while he was like, yeah, I'd love to do this if they'll have me, if they want me to be Batman, and then sometimes it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's...
He reads something on the script and goes, oh, shit.
Yeah, they said, we want to do a Batman versus Deathstroke. Fuck. God, guys. Oh, no, we want to do the Deathstroke movie first, and then that'll lead into Batman. No, please. So...
We wanted you to fight Jared Leto, but not as the Joker, just Jared Leto.
We just want you to scrap with Jared Leto. The fans don't really like him. They might want to see him get beat up in this next
They
movie.
like him. They don't like the Joker part of him.
I don't even think they like him because he like fucking was.
I like Jared Leto.
I like Jared Leto as an actor too, but
I like
I
Jared
like
Leto
this-
as a singer.
Yeah, like 30 Seconds to Mars.
I like those first two albums.
Yeah. Anyways.
So Marvel was in talks for a very brief moment to buy 21st Century Fox, which would have
Oh, that ended?
yeah, which would have included the X-Men rights and the rights to Fantastic Four.
Right. And do they have Spider-Man? Or is that Sony? That's Sony.
That's
Never
Sony,
mind.
but they already have the rights to Spider-Man for basically as long as they wanted because fucking Homecoming did so good.
Still
Fine, you
haven't
can
seen
keep
that.
them.
Fine, I guess you guys know what you're doing.
I haven't seen that yet either. I want
You
to.
haven't? Neither of you have seen Homecoming? I saw Homecoming. It was great. I loved it.
Fuck you.
We'll get to that though in a little bit when we talk
The
about.
fucking?
I mean, I guess if you guys
I'm
want,
out.
I guess if you guys want,
I gotta
I mean,
go.
you know.
I didn't know
My
it was that
parents are
good
going to
for
listen to this.
My dad's not going to be surprised by anything either. So,
So that ended, huh?
yeah, that's done. That's not. Apparently, that's not
That
happening.
was exciting. I'm bummed.
But that again, that would have been the second sign of the apocalypse. Like that would have been it right there. Like
No, you know what was the first sign? Was Joss Whedon going over to the DC.
he's only doing
universe.
reshoots though. I don't think he's gonna. I think they literally
Well, he went in there to be an executive producer,
really.
and then they were like, so shit happened.
Well, I mean, you heard about what happened. You
yeah,
heard,
no,
yeah.
I'm
so
not gonna go into that. That's
That's
just
sad. But yeah, that would have been something. But here, honestly, I had noticed that a lot of people were like, "Please no," when it came to the thought of Disney owning all that shit.
of Disney owning DC.
No, of Disney owning all of the like X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, the rest of the MCU characters. I noticed a lot of people seemed kind of resistant to the idea
Interesting.
because a lot of people are like, I don't want Disney to own everything because they already own all of Star Wars,
Yeah.
and then at that point they would own all of Marvel, and I'm sure there's 2 other properties that they bought within the last 6 or 7 years that I'm forgetting about.
Right.
Like, and a lot of people were just resistant because they want, especially after Logan, people are still kind of high on the X-Men movies. It'll be until Bryan Singer makes another piece of shit that they realize that.
We're gonna make him a musical.
You know what? Honestly, at this point, I prefer that over anything else that he wants to do.
Hugh Jackman comes back like, no, I'm down. Let's
Oh
do
yeah,
it.
fuck yeah, let's do it.
Les Miserables Part 2. Les Mis X.
Fucking racks up the Tonys. Just fucking give me that shit. Stark doesn't have one of these. Fucking spikes it on the fucking floor.
Another.
This Tony, I like it. Another. I want them to have Fantastic Four
Right.
for sure because I want a Doom movie.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking cool. And I want them to do.
I think that would be the only cool part about it. I mean, like, the Fantastic Four have been around for a while.
I think the Fantastic Four would make an amazing fucking TV show, especially a Netflix one.
I could see that.
Like you do like a Netflix style where it's not like hard edged like the other ones, but where it's more just kind of like you just give them the same level of budget and just let them fuck around that way, and then you just let them explore the cosmic Marvel universe and do whatever it is that they want to do. And that to me would have been cool. I don't know if
Give
they-
it like a little like 90s vibe, like 90s sci-fi vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I don't know if I wanted them. I don't know if I want them to have X-Men though.
Yeah.
I kind of want X-Men to go away.
Yeah.
The X-Men movies.
You feel that way?
I like some of the older ones. I haven't seen Logan yet, but I hear it's really good. But I kind of want the X-Men to just disappear for a little bit. Not like.
Ladies and gentlemen, the thoughts and opinions of James Rhodes do not represent everyone else in this podcast.
I mean, I don't want.
Like, just go away, have everyone forget about them,
And then bring 'em back.
reintroduce
And then
them.
bring
And
'em
then
back.
bring them back, and then it'll
When,
be like,
when all
oh
of us
shit!
are dead.
Fuck it, just retcon it again. I don't give a fuck.
And I'm not talking about it in the comics. I'm just talking about the movies. The
Uh-huh.
movies are played out. I don't want to watch another X-Men movie. Like, I'm not interested.
I'm excited for Deadpool 2.
I'm excited for Deadpool 2. I'm excited for whatever they decide to do with Wolverine next. But other than that, and then they're making some either X-Force or New Mutants movie that's supposed to be like
Horror.
yeah, like a horror movie or something
I'm
like that.
actually interested by that because I love Maisie Williams.
Oh yeah,
I adore her.
that's
Not sure who that is.
she's Arya Arya Stark, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Really, I didn't know that.
You should take your face,
Yeah.
Take your
motherfucker.
motherfucking face.
Yeah. Yeah, and that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And that's more what I wanted to do with X-Men than anything. Just like stop with Bryan Singer.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Not everyone needs to come back. I learned my lesson. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You guys should have gotten somebody else. I should have listened. I apologize.
Maybe don't come back.
Yeah, do not come back, Bryan Singer. You're good. I don't think he has the pulse on it anymore like he used to. It was different in the early 2000s when there wasn't a whole bunch of comic book movies out, and he kind of created the vibe of what a comic book movie should be.
Yeah.
But now...
It's interesting to bring that up because, I mean, in the early 2000s, you had, like, the early Spider-Man and the early X-Men, and those were pretty good.
But, hold on. We're taking to 20. The first good comic book movie outside of the Superman, the rando Superman and Batman movies.
Where are you going with this?
Blade.
Fair enough.
If it were not
Fair
for
enough.
Blade, comic book movies as we know it would not exist.
Fair
Would
enough.
not exist. Even the hard R idea of a comic book movie would not exist without Blade.
It always kind of seems like they kind of go, oh, we can go crazier?
Mm-hmm.
Crazier? Shit, it's broken.
Yeah, fuck, too far. Well, and
Why
even,
does it keep spinning?
even Spawn. Like, Spawn in the comics, he was, like, crucifying, like, pedophiles and, like, you know, doing crazy shit. And in the movie, it's, like, PG-13. They didn't even give Spawn an R.
I think he needs an R.
Yeah, he
I
has...
think I would like to see movies that are just hard R's for superheroes, for sure. The ones that deserve them.
I think a Batman... I think you could do a hard R Batman movie without Batman being the one who's committing the hard R stuff.
Right.
Like, because you could do, like, a Professor Pig movie, or...
Shit, that would be scary as fuck.
That would be fucking terrifying. You could do Professor Pig. You could do The Calendar Man.
Peppa Pig.
You could do Mad Hatter. Imagine, like, R-rated Mad Hatter movie.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
That would be crazy.
Him and the Riddler team up and just... They're just talking around in circles the whole time.
He throws a riddle at him, and Mad Hatter responds. He's just, what the fuck did you just say? What did you just say? So, you wanted to talk about something related to the DC?
Oh, I mean...
Or was it just Flashpoint?
Right. There's just talks of having them just retcon everything and be
But
like,
now-
oh, we fucked up, so everyone's getting their individual movies. And that's
But
that.
yeah, and now even Henry Cavill's like, oh yeah, I haven't liked a DC EU movie until Wonder Woman, and it's like, dude, you're a company man, and I appreciate that so much, but you were out there defending Batman versus Superman.
Listen, man,
Hard.
How can you defend that?
So hold on, I didn't get to finish telling you this part of the story yesterday. So Melissa has not seen.
I haven't finished it because I couldn't get past the stupid bath scene.
Explain your grievances with the bat scene.
This is my problem with it. My problem is that she's butt-ass naked in a bathtub, in a warm, cozy bathtub, and he comes in fresh out of the rain in his muddy-ass boots, and he's stepping in her bath water with, like, just exposed. And she's laughing. She thinks it's the greatest, cutest thing ever, and I'm just like, I would be pissed.
Get the
I would
fuck
be
out of my
fucking
mouth.
motherfucker, get him a bathtub.
It's filthy, it's weird, and, like, I don't know why they put that in the movie at all. I couldn't get past it.
I did not
It
even.
pissed me off.
I didn't even think about the fact that he got in there with shoes on until Melissa pointed it out to me. And then, like, that's like UTIs and, like, I'm serious. Like, that's.
Parasites, something, I don't know.
And
I don't
then
know.
on top of whatever else was falling on him, and then, like, whatever weird alien bacteria he already has on his skin because he's Superman.
Yeah.
Like, just. It's all bad.
It made me really, really mad.
I saw this-
I stopped watching it.
I saw this like little comic snippet of like Lois Lane and Superman about to get it on, and you know they get naked or whatever, and was like, "What the fuck is that? The fuck you talking about? It's, it's my penis." It's just like, that's not a penis.
It's Kryptonian penis. It's what they all look like. What do you mean?
It looked like a hedgehog's penis, but there's like 3 heads.
It's like 3 Dr. Manhattans.
Oh shit!
So, I wanted to tell you this part yesterday. So, this happens later in the movie.
Okay.
Jesse Eisenberg kidnaps Martha Kent, Superman's mom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling her about the fight part. I'm telling her about right before. So, Lois Lane and Superman are debating each other about the merits of this because the whole point is that Lex Luthor wants Superman to kill Batman. Because if he doesn't, I'm going to kill your mom. And so he's just like, I have no choice. I mean, he's gonna... Never mind the fact that I'm fucking Superman and could just fly in there, grab my mom.
Could you imagine if Lex Luthor wasn't trying to kill her and just sleep with her instead?
He would be in there in a hot second. Like, don't touch my mother!
Throws Batman at
I'm not calling you dad!
I'm not doing it!
I ain't playing the goddamn games.
So, Superman starts floating off in the air, and Lois is basically begging him not to go through with this, and Superman, the symbol of hope and peace, looks at Lois Lane in the eyes and goes, Lois, nobody stays good forever. And flies the fuck off.
Oh my god.
And flies the fuck off. And I'm just like, this is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've seen a lot of really bad movies. People, understand me when I say this to you. I thought bad movies were funny in my teenage years. And I would do nothing but sit on my ass all day and watch bad movies.
Demolition Man is one of your
I
favorite movies.
still do that.
Demolition Man is not a bad movie. I will slap the shit out of you on this podcast.
You like the prequel.
You're just gonna snap.
You can't see, audience, but I'm ready to choke this motherfucker right now. I cannot believe you even just did that to me. So,
You're not denying.
I like the lightsaber duels in the prequels, okay?
That's gotta be the coolest part. That's
And,
the only like.
and the
saving
pod
grace.
racing scene in the first one. I don't care what anyone says, pod racing's fucking cool. Anyways,
Now this is.
that's not in the pod racing scene, you fucking asshole.
I'm just saying.
And we're moving on.
Okay.
I've seen bad movies. I know what a bad movie looks like. And Batman vs. Superman is probably the single worst movie I think I've ever seen. It's just bad.
Not only did I like exit the browser I was watching it on, I turned my computer off and I went to bed because I was just mad. I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna wake up and
Crawl.
pretend I didn't even see that. I'm gonna pretend that it's not in my head at all.
Someone walks up.
Like a new
Hey,
day.
did you see the new Batman? Just break his neck.
Hey, just like Batman.
Officer.
There
What
is
happened
one.
here? I have no clue.
I will show you the Batman fight scene, which you probably saw in the trailers already, anyways. But it's cool, the full thing. I'll show you that, but that's pretty much the only thing that's worth
Well,
watching.
the full thing.
He doesn't kill anyone. Well, that's not entirely true. Never mind.
Okay.
You're right. Maybe not the full thing, because they totally. All right, never mind. So, two more things really
Okay.
quick before we hop out of the morning announcements. I'm going to make a recommendation. The Ric Flair 30 for 30 just came out on ESPN.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Ric Flair's 30 for 30,
Okay.
which is a documentary series on ESPN where they cover sports figures. Came out last night. It's really good. Check that out. Also, Free Meek Mill. What were you going to say?
Free McMill.
Free Meek Mill.
What the hell did he do now?
Fucking the judge put him away for 2 to 4 years for riding a fucking dirt bike.
What?
Tried to tell him that the only way she would reduce the sentence is if he did a Boys to Men cover for her, and then told her to sign on her friend's label and leave Rockefeller
Get the
What?
fuck out of
That's-
town.
and
How's
put him
that?
2 to 4 years because he's black and she can get away with it.
That is not legal.
No, it's not.
You can go to the Supreme Court for that kind of shit.
Well, man's in jail now. They don't give a fuck.
It's recorded, right?
Really?
Really.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't that bribery?
That is like everything that was just described was bribery. Like,
What the fuck?
so yeah, Free Meek Mill.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's really, really stupid.
I have no idea what I was going to talk about, so
Okay.
we can just move on.
So we're gonna pivot into English 101.
Oh, no, I remember, sorry.
All right, never mind. Fuck me.
This is going to come up later in the podcast, but I want there to be a clear winner in these movies when it comes to fights.
I see what you're
I
saying.
am so fucking sick and tired of it. Like,
blue balls.
you know, we're just teeter-tottering around who's going to win.
Well,
Fuck that.
We'll get to that because I disagree with you on what I think you're implying. But we're gonna pivot really quick to our next class, English 101. The bell has sounded. We are now in English class. The idea, we're handing out the syllabi right now. The idea behind this class
God
is
damn,
that.
give me flashbacks.
I'm sorry.
I'm triggered.
I'm triggered.
The idea behind this class is that once a week, someone is going to come up with something for the whole group. We're usually going to have 3, sometimes 4, that we're all going to read, and then we're going to basically give a review back to the person that recommended it to us. And that'll be the idea. This week we don't have that because it's the introduction, and this kind of got thrown together a little more haphazardly than we were expecting. So we're going to do it like this. All of us, we're going to go down the line, and we're going to give 5 recommendations really quick, so that way you guys come to understand our tastes. So when we start recommending shit to people, you're gonna have
I don't have 5, but
it's fine. Look, we don't have. Look, we're just gonna recommend shit, and we're gonna talk about it, and you're gonna like it, and that'll be that.
Yeah, we're on a podcast. You listen to us.
Yeah, you listen to us, you little motherfuckers.
As he points to his computer.
I'm pointing at the computer.
Is that what we're gonna call our audience, little motherfuckers?
Yeah, you little motherfuckers.
My sweet motherfuckers.
What you gonna do, brother, when the little motherfuckers run wild on you?
It's okay. One of my favorite streamers calls us his little idiots. So
That's fucking awesome.
we accept it.
So, I'm going to pass the mic to Melissa, and she's going to go down her recommendations.
Well, let's see. You can never go wrong with the Buffy series, season 8.
Mm-hmm.
Right after season 7 ends, it goes straight into a comic. It goes from a TV show straight into a comic, which is really cool, I think, the way they continued that. One series that I read and I really, really enjoyed, just because it's so just like raw and just the pictures in it are so graphic, is Saga. It's a great sci-fi book. And a novel I will always suggest, I will preach it to you probably every week, is to read The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. And if you don't do it, I'm just gonna keep telling you. I'm not gonna resort to the physical threats, but I will just keep telling you to read it because it's the greatest thing to ever happen in my life.
Well, she won't resort to physical threats, but
It is. Patrick Rothfuss is the most amazing author.
Melissa definitely preaches Patrick Rothfuss to anyone who will listen.
I do.
And she has absolutely been trying to. What was it? Kingslayer Saga? Is that
The
what?
Kingkiller Chronicles.
Kingkiller Chronicles.
He's writing the 3rd one now. The first 2 are out: The Name of the Wind and The Wise Man's Fear.
Mm-hmm.
He also has a short for one of the, I guess she's a main character, called The Slow Regard of Silent Things, and it's very beautiful.
Beautiful title.
And like, it's, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like solemn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, this one's pretty interesting.
We'll definitely check those out. Mr. Palacios.
Let's see. One of my favorite books, especially now because the movie is being made and is about to come out. You know where this is going, James. Ready Player One. If you are around my age and are looking for some fake nostalgia because you never really had it in the first place.
At least you admit it.
It's just like Stranger Things, you know.
Yeah, it's manufactured nostalgia.
Right. Yeah, if you want some of that like 70s or 80s good sci-fi shit, definitely check out Ready Player One. Ender's Game is a really good one as well. Don't even look at the movie.
Was the movie that bad?
It wasn't good.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Ender's Game?
Oh.
Ender's
I
Game.
didn't even.
Yeah, no, it was not a good movie. Ready Player One has a really slow start because that took me a whole year to get past chapter 1.
Oh my god.
No, he's not kidding.
I am not kidding.
There's just some books that are like that, but once you get past that little.
Oh, once you get past, once he actually goes into the world, the VR world, it is amazing.
That's why I always no matter how long it takes me to get to that part, I try to give every book a chance.
Until it's the last page, and you're like, what the fuck?
I just wasted so much time.
I give a book about 60 to 100 pages. If you cannot grab me within 60 to 100 pages,
You gave it 2.
I did not give it 2.
All right, fine. 10.
I gave it more than 10.
No, I honestly.
I have the chapter 1 rule where if I can't if by the last paragraph of the first chapter it's I don't see it picking up, I don't even buy
That's
it.
fair.
I read the first chapter in the bookstore before I buy it.
That's
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Because there have been several times where I've gambled wrong on books for exactly that reason. It's just been fuck.
If I can
Son
read
of
the
this
first
now.
chapter and be okay, I definitely see it going somewhere, I'm gonna buy it.
Definitely. Yeah.
I suppose, because I'm just now realizing, in English 101 we will be talking about comic books, manga, novels. I don't think I said that part, so I'm just going to throw that out there.
All right, fair enough. If you're looking for something funny, Battle Pope. If you're not too sensitive to religious topics, Battle Pope.
You mean religious sacrilege?
Yeah, fair enough.
Constant, just fucking
all of
needling
it.
the Catholic religion.
Yeah.
So you're recommending Ready Player One and Battle Pope?
And Ender's Game.
And Ender's Game.
Yeah.
I have 5. So starting with my number 1 pick, I always recommend this. This is probably my number 1 comic series to recommend to anyone. Saga of Swamp Thing. It is the story of the Swamp Thing and basically just him kind of navigating through his life and figuring out.
All by my...
But Steve, no, that's the thing, because it's one of the most touching love stories you will ever fucking read in your life. It is one of the most touching love stories you will ever read in your life, and basically it's a big story about the environment told by Alan Moore, one of the greatest comic book writers ever. I may not be into all of his opinions on things.
I don't know why my mind went to Al Gore.
Al Gore. Al Gore's writing comics. Swamp Thing fights the Man-Bear Pig.
I would buy that.
And the art is mind-blowingly good. I rarely say this when it comes to comic books, but if you live in a state like Washington, and you have some recreational activities, so to speak, do that and then read this comic. It will blow your fucking mind. I swear to God. Second one's going to be a novel. I like mystery novels personally. I'm always a big fan of a detective story. So the one I'm going to recommend is The Long Goodbye. The less I say about it, the better. Basically, it's Raymond Chandler, set in the 1930s in LA. Very, very interesting book. Very confusing. It will definitely take you more than one read to kind of figure out what's happening and what's going on, because there's so many different layers to it. That's all those old crime stories are kind of the same way in terms of that. And it also has a movie made by Rob Altman that came out in 1973 that is also super good. Mm-hmm. So you can check that out if you don't feel like reading the book. Number 3, fuck it, I'm not going to turn the extra credit in. Number 3, because of the news topic we had today, number 3, check out Ultimate Spider-Man.
There you go.
Start with Volume 1. That's where I started. That's what got me into comics at 5 years old, and I've been hooked ever since. To me, it's probably the best telling of Peter Parker's life that there has ever been. There's not really some of the rough patches that come with the mainstream, Spider-Man books where it's like there's writers where it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ, can this please be over? or even just stuff where it's like, why did you do that? Like One More Day, where they undid the marriage to save Aunt May. Like, where it's just like, oh, why'd you do that? That was a bad decision. And Ultimate Spider-Man has none of that. It's just a good story.
Oh, there you go. And
it's a really interesting coming-of-age tale. Peter's tale ends in very sad, but then from there it picks up with Miles, and that's its own story on its own, completely different character, still called Spider-Man, but almost different power set too, aside from the web swing. And yeah, those are going to be my recommendations for the week.
There you go.
Usually the segment will go a little longer, but today we're going to keep it short. And
there's the bell.
There's the bell. We have a half day today. We got a half day today, and we're going to move into some recess next.
We're here on a very special occasion.
Is it a special occasion?
It's a very special occasion.
I don't think it's all.
We're celebrating Thor Ragnarok coming out.
All right.
So in honor of that,
let me take a 20 for a second.
Okay.
We're celebrating Thor Ragnarok coming out, which we've already done a review for, and it's been out for a week and a half at this point. So we're celebrating it by what exactly, Jose?
So a lot of you might not remember this, but there was a bunch of Marvel games.
A bunch of them.
There was some for the Hulk.
One for the Hulk.
There was like 2. I think there was one for the PS2.
Oh, but that was before.
Regardless, there's been a bunch of Marvel games that got licensed by... No, they got... that Sega borrowed.
Yeah, Sega got the licensing for them. So you already know that they're amazing.
So there's one for Captain America. There's one for Hulk. There's 2 for Iron Man. And, of course, there's one for... Thor, God of Thunder. And
here's what I'm gonna warn you about. When this starts getting bad,
you're gonna start shooting me with Nerf guns.
I'm gonna start shooting Jose with this Nerf dart.
Oh jeez, I didn't sign up for this.
Asgardian.
Asgardian.
Fuck you. You're doing this on Asgardian. What? Wow. Wow. Look at all that brown.
Oof.
Look at all those brown and dark greens.
Such a shiny turd.
They're really trying to make you feel...
Look at that polish.
Fuck you. I think I'm gonna keep...
Everything's gleaming.
I think I'm gonna keep playing Zelda. You can go fuck yourself. I don't think I want to be a part of this Let's Play.
Come on, this is
No.
It's beautiful.
No, we just went from one of the prettiest games I've seen all year, for sure, just in terms of color palette, to this. And I'm really kind of mad at you for it.
Oh, look at Odin.
It's Anthony Hopkins.
Mighty Odin, ruler of Asgard.
Oh boy.
Did you turn on the subtitles for this? I didn't realize we'd be jumping straight into a cutscene.
Shit.
Can you not skip this cutscene?
Oh look, I can have different costumes. Oh, and I can have different.
That's actually kind of cool. I like that. I like that you can change the color of the lightning. You can change it to purple lightning.
Thor.
Helmeted. Alright.
Helmeted Thor.
And then you got Ultimate Thor, obviously.
I don't know what the one on the right is.
Looks like the Destroyer.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Valor. Hold on.
Time out.
Cut it. Yeah, what the fuck is Valor? Oh my god.
It's got an up-leveling system.
This has a leveling system? Dude.
Oh.
Man, you're in this for the long haul.
Oh.
Are
Why
you?
am I not hitting anything?
Are you really just not hitting anything?
Am I whiffing? Is this a thing? Or do I have to let them hit me? Okay, I think I have to let them hit me. Alright, now I can dash. Look at all that Crimson Hemsworth goodness. I gotta throw
Hammer
Mjolnir.
throw mode.
I gotta throw Mjolnir.
You gotta throw Mjolnir.
Can you come back? I need the tutorial.
I'm not doing this.
I need the tutorial.
I'm not doing this.
How do you throw Mjolnir? Shit. Oh, okay, I gotta push that on that, and then that. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Yeah.
Doink.
Whee!
Korg.
Korg being the director. That's
bro.
fucking awesome.
Hey, bro. And that's
Usually-
actually just how the director talks. He's literally
Really?
like, I mean, they made his voice a little higher,
Uh-huh.
but basically that's just how he talks. Like, it's just like, hey man, let's go.
Hey, bro. Yeah. Was there anything that you thought was cool about the movie that we didn't touch on?
No, I said my piece. Like I said, the part where fucking,
Shit.
good God.
He obliterated them.
Exodia. Fucking the part where you see Hulk for the first time. That was awesome. Holy
Just
shit!
dropped
He
like
just
a bag
fucking
of soap.
sank, just like yeah.
Heroic. You saw that shit? Heroic recovery.
Heroic recovery. Fuck out of here. Probably
Let's
not.
break the game. Shit.
Nope. You suck.
Asgard will be our
Asgard.
Jesus. Summon first. What?
The powers make no sense.
What?
Thor, he can
What?
control wind too.
He's got force push.
He's got force push.
I don't think it does. Ow!
We shoot you in the nipple.
Stop it. It doesn't come back, James. What do I do? I screwed it up.
On this game that you
here we
wanted
go.
to play.
Okay, here we go. Alright, cool. No?
Not very many.
Are you kidding me?
Oh shit!
Alright. I don't have enough.
You don't have enough.
I don't have enough.
Dude, God, you're a jackass. I cannot believe you've put us through this. You may as well die. I did it. I saved the world.
I gotta get to Oh my god! This game is as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It's amazing. There's
You
little
thought
fun
this was
facts.
going to be amazing?
Oh yeah. They had guns. They had anti-aircraft guns.
Not for long. They just destroyed the one.
Guys, I got this.
Don't worry, guys. Thor's got this.
I'm gonna fucking force push him.
You know, in moments like this, it really makes me miss Tommy.
He's just trying to fall over.
Oh my fucking
Look,
god.
he just shoved him. Oh my god. Oh my god. You miss who?
Yeah, moments like this make me miss Tommy.
Oh.
Because Tommy would be beating the shit up right.
Lightning.
God, remember when we used to think when we were teenagers that this type of game was the shit,
Oh yeah.
and we would just play this because you could.
Dude, I'm just gonna push him off the edge.
You're just gonna
I'm
push
just
him
gonna
off
push him off the edge. Fuck, I missed.
there. And now you don't have any magic powers, you stupid bitch.
I have one left.
You got one left.
Oh, I could use Power Surge. Where am I going?
To unleash Thor's might.
Wait.
No, don't do it.
Heroic recovery. Thank God for the heroic recovery.
That is not where Thor's supposed to be going, I guess.
I am really lost now.
What do I do? Well, we're at 17 minutes. We can call it here.
Do I just have to use the... Okay, I'll just use it. Oh, okay. Oh, you know it's a good game when you have to go... Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You can't kind of fly. You can't control it.
So you can't fly. So you can't fly at all then, is what you just told me. It'll probably, like...
Should I say...
Oh, shit. You've mastered heroic recovery. You've jumped off the edge and died so many times that you've mastered heroic recovery.
Okay, I don't got him. It's alright, bud. You...
Oh, never mind.
Shit.
Yeah.
So, how do you think he's gonna get his hammer back in the new movie?
Oh, it's some bullshit. It'll be some comic book shit where it'll be like, oh man, I really wish I had my hammer right now, and then fucking
just comes back to
and just fucking
oh hey, look at that, my hammer.
Or fucking he'll use one of the fuck you idiot. He'll use one of the fucking soul gems to, or the time gem maybe, to reconstruct it or something.
Okay, what the fuck do I do? It's not reaching.
Apparently, you're
I promise you that I am trying my hardest. It's just not reaching.
You're torturing us. You're torturing the audience. You realize this is going to be about 10 minutes of genuinely usable footage, right?
Alright, you know what? That's it. We're calling it there. I genuinely can't. We'll stop here, but I can't genuinely can't.
Alright, this is over. We're done with this.
The bell has sounded again, and now... Don't laugh at me.
Ding, ding.
Don't laugh at me, motherfucker. And now we're in the computer lab. Here in the computer lab, similar to what we do in English, where it'll be once a week, someone recommends a game, and then all three of us play it, and then we'll go over it. We're just going to do recommendations just like we did in English.
Mm-hmm.
You can start first, Jose.
You want me to start off?
Yeah, you can start first.
Alright. I'm not gonna, put my favorite out there just because it's old and it's seen its time and everything.
Ocarina.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
You're mostly gonna get single player games from me, but I think that's gonna be everyone here. So
I got some multiplayer games I'll recommend.
I'm playing right now Fractured Butthole. It's a really good game. I do recommend it. It sounds as ridiculous. It is. It's as ridiculous as it sounds.
It's gross.
It's a gross game.
It is a very
I
gross
haven't
game.
played it yet.
Yeah.
There's a
And
power
then-
set that literally characters show up, and the way you get powers is they shove things up your ass.
Oh.
And it's not even like...
No, you use their powers by shoving things up.
Oh yeah, you
your ass.
use their powers by shoving things up your ass, which they basically mime as these little 10-year-olds fucking each other in the ass, basically.
That's awful.
And
I mean,
it's just
South
like
Park, when
it's
you
so
said-
gross. And I remember the first time he showed me it and it happened, and I was like, Jose, what the fuck did I just watch? And he was like,
Is this true?
Check it out. Good times. And then let's see here. The Last of Us, definitely for sure.
Oh yeah, that's honestly one of the most incredible games I think I've ever played.
Yeah.
I haven't played it.
Just from
Some people might say otherwise, but I love the
I
game.
watched John play it, and John, he's pretty particular about the games. Like, he'll play games, but like very rarely he's like, I like can't stop playing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely one of those games. And then let's see here. Yeah, we'll leave it there.
You'll leave it there at 3?
3.
All right.
3's fine.
I think I already know one of them.
Let's go ahead and say it.
No, go ahead. I'm interested to see if I'm right.
All right. Well, this came out 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago. It's Dragon Age Inquisition. They did a very good job.
I was right.
A very fucking good job. Most of you have probably already played it, but if you haven't, go ahead and give it a chance. It's fairly quick if you stick to the main storyline, but there's also a lot of stuff to make it feel more in-depth. And also, just like the romances are very good. There's one of them, I won't tell you who, but he'll absolutely rip your heart out.
You fucking dragon.
So,
You cannot fucking dragon.
no, but you can fuck a Kunari, and that's pretty cool.
You can fucking dwarf.
They
Can
prefer
you not-
little people.
There's no dwarf fucking in this one.
Oh damn it! No dwarf fucking. Sorry, Melissa. I thought they represented for your people.
Oh, damn. No,
We
not yet.
are
They
meant-
just got onto elves, okay? It's paced. There's steps that have to be taken.
I was so disappointed when I found out, because they said in Andromeda you can romance whoever you want, and then you could not romance whoever you want. And I was so mad because I was so looking forward to the Krogan sex scene.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my
That
Jesus.
that would have been the craziest thing I've ever witnessed.
Just
Okay.
lays eggs on you.
So, in Skyrim, there was like one person who I really, really wanted to marry, and you couldn't. It was that vampire chick when you do the vampire quest line, and I found out that you couldn't I even went and killed my husband for her.
Listen, I'll kill him. I swear, I'll kill
And then
him.
I found out that it's not even possible. I was like, damn it.
The other one in that I don't think you can marry her is the werewolf, the Ayla, the huntress.
Ayla?
Yeah, I don't think
you can.
Yeah, I don't think you can get with
know.
her either, and she was the one I wanted to get with. I was like, oh, she's awesome. She's a werewolf.
Anyways, back on track. Another good one is if you don't mind the bugs and the very few games that don't have hackers in it, is Players Unknown Battleground. I'm playing a lot of that. Within like 1 week, I had probably 75 hours on this.
My God.
It is addicting, and it's super, super fun when you play with a whole squad. And I'm just gonna say this one because the amount of people that I've met that like play video games religiously and have not played this is Kingdom Hearts.
Really?
The amount of people I've met that have not played it is incredible. So buy a fucking PlayStation 2
Yeah.
and play some goddamn Kingdom Hearts.
Not even
it's
that.
great.
If you have a PS4, buy the 2.8 edition.
Oh, that's true. There's no reason not to play it.
You need to play Kingdom Hearts. Listen, stop fucking around with your life. Get back into college. Go back to school. Start playing Kingdom Hearts. Start watching anime again. Get your life back on track.
Yeah.
Like, you're fucking up.
Yeah, that's it.
So, I'll just stick with 3-2. The first one I'm going to recommend, I've been playing this a lot lately, Batman Arkham Knight. It's fucking great. I'm so close to 100%ing that game. I just need to go through and do all the Riddler trophies.
Oh, is that it?
Look,
Go ahead, continue.
I don't want to talk about it. And if you like any of the other Batman games, check those out too. So that'll be my soft one.
What about your hard one?
The one I'm definitely recommending, this is my hard one right here. This is my hard boy. The one I'm recommending for sure is a game called Gungrave. Came out in 2002. It's made by the same guy who made Trigun, or designed and created by the same guy who made Trigun. And it's about a hitman who comes back from the dead and has a big ass fucking casket on his back that doubles as a rocket launcher.
That's pretty badass.
And he has 2 twin pistols called Cerberus that he holds in an X formation across his arms because he's fucking cool like that.
Reminds me of Helsing.
Honestly, he kind of has a similar look to Alucard. He has, it's like black and accents of red with a. He's wearing a cowboy hat.
I'm just.
But it's super cool. I recommend that. There's also an anime series that goes along with it that is very good. It's like The Godfather meets fucking Frankenstein, basically. It's fucking awesome.
That sounds really interesting.
And then the third one I'm going to recommend, Jose and I play this one a lot. He probably knows what's coming. Everyone needs to check out UFC 2.
No, that's fair.
Because that is probably, of all the fighting games I've played in the last couple of years, probably the one that has the most replay value out of any of them, in my opinion, because there's something so addictive about the career mode. It's only like 38 fights if you like want to know all of them. If you lose, or if you 38-0, it's only like 38 fights. I think if you lose, you might get extra, but I'm not 100% sure.
I do gotta say it's really satisfying to get like an actual knockout as opposed to the ones where they get knocked on the ground and you jump on top of them, because it is so fucking satisfying, just dead.
And the big seller of this game to me is knockout mode.
That's fun.
Because that's just basically you get a health bar, you fill it up all the way, you pick your fighter, and then you're just mashing the buttons. You don't have to worry about any of the grapples and stuff like that or any of the intricate MMA shit. You're just punching each other in the face until someone doesn't get up anymore. And that's super fucking fun. He and I will sit there and play this for just fucking 2 whole hours if you let us.
I have another one.
Okay.
It's
Go for it.
multiplayer, and it's called Gang Beasts. It's like,
Yes!
I love that game. There's like little doughboys punching each other and fighting, and you can like throw each other. I even found out how to climb walls, which is really funny because other people couldn't do it, so I'd climb the wall and just stay up there.
Flick 'em
Well,
off.
everybody else is just fighting. It's really funny.
Just
Yeah,
jump on
I'm
top
like
of
flipping
everyone.
them off. Like
From the top rope, from
doing
the...
crossbodies and shit.
it is great. It's fun because you get to kick your friend's ass, it's, you know, with no consequence. And it's just, they look hilarious. Like, the characters are so funny looking. I love it.
And there's the bell.
Yep. No, well, I am actually going to recommend one more too because it popped into my head after you said it because it's similar.
There's the bell. Okay.
There's this game I've been playing a lot lately called Speedrunners.
Oh,
Yeah, I showed him this one, and basically the idea is it's you versus 3 other people. The way you beat the 3 other people is that you get so far ahead of them that they fall off the screen.
Oh,
basically. Yeah,
I know what you're talking
you know what I'm
about.
talking about.
My roommate has that, and I like watching it. I'm not really fond of playing it.
It's hard. It's a hard game to keep up with. 'Cause
I'm so bad at games like that.
I played it and I just get lost. I'm like, wait, that's not my guy. What the fuck?
I've tried moving up in difficulty, and I just get my ass kicked now.
It's definitely like, it gets your adrenaline going, and it's really fun to watch other people play it too.
When it gets down to the final two and the horn, the beep,
No,
it's just so...
that's a fun game too.
So, we're going to head into our next class, physical education, and we'll be back to round this out with some AV Club, and we're going to talk about Thor Ragnarok.
By the way, welcome to physical education.
Welcome to PE.
Yeah,
where we talk about existential crisis.
Yeah, where we talk about existential crisis. This is a segment of the show where we're going to play games where we play against each other, essentially. It won't always be fighting games and shit like that. Sometimes it'll be like fucking Mario Party or some shit like that. Just fun stuff. Racing games, you know. Just stuff to get the blood flowing and get everybody in the group involved. Today it's just me and Jose, so we're going to sit here and beat the holy fuck out of each other in
See,
UFC.
what it doesn't tell you off screen is we have no friends. Melissa's just there because she pities us.
She pays us to be there?
She pities us.
Pities us. Oh, okay, I thought you said she pays us. I was like, that means we're more her friends than anything.
You gotta take lemons and make the lemon.
You gotta take lemonades and make the lemons.
Yeah.
So let's pick our fighters.
Right.
What weight class do you want to do, buddy?
I need a battery.
Huh?
I need batteries.
Well, alright. So you decided middleweight. Coming up next.
Between Luke Rockhold and the Karate Kid, Lyoto Machida.
Machida.
Ah, I was right. Machida.
Machampa. Machamp.
Machop. He's the real life version of Machop.
Alright, let's kick your ass.
Oh, you're gonna kick my ass, huh? No respect for you. Come here.
White trunks for Machida.
So yeah, we play this game a lot because it's really quick and easy. And frankly, this is the most satisfying win you can get in just about any fighting game.
Yeah, you really can. You know, that's a good point. I don't think I've had a satisfying win in some of the new fighting games.
Mortal Kombat X was really good for those.
Injustice, like the first one, I didn't find it satisfying because the guy would get back up after beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, basically, you would just dog him for a whole match straight, and then he'd just get up on his knee. It'd be like a wrestling match. Just like,
He can't connect with the straight
and then you just
Oh, he tagged him with
it's not
that
satisfying.
come here. Oh, you're lucky I don't have
We gotta play the second one.
Injustice 2?
Yeah, especially with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out on that.
Dude, for real. There's so many great characters
We
in
can
that
finally
game, too.
settle it. I'll be Leonardo, you be Raphael.
The best turtle is Donatello, if you must know.
Oh, I thought your favorite was
My favorite is Raph, but the best turtle is Donatello. There's no question.
why is that?
He's smart and he can fight.
Yeah.
And frankly, if any of them was going to be a black kid, it was Donatello.
where did that come from? Shit, that was a
I'm
nice
just
kid.
saying, if any of them are like, if any of them were like the black kid of the Ninja Turtles, it was Donatello.
Okay.
In my opinion. The smartest one, the most resourceful. Like he wasn't the one who was tripping over being a turtle. Like, like they're all like he's just like, yeah, I'm a turtle and I'm smart. It's
He
fucking
took
awesome.
lemons and made lemonade. Or he took lemonade and made lemons.
He took lemonade and made lemons. God, that is gonna go on your fucking gravestone. I
It
want you
is.
to know. Well, you know what? Look, I love CM Punk, but you cannot convince me that Mickey Gall fight was straight up. I'm sorry. You cannot convince me. Like, I mean, either way, something happened there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a reason why Punk was in his ear after the match. Like, something happened there.
You did good, kid. I can retire happy now. This was your first fight. What the fuck are you talking about?
I still, like... CM Punk was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up because he was like me. He didn't do drugs, he didn't drink, nothing like that, which meant I know CM Punk had the exact same teenagerdom that I did, which was staying inside, playing video games, and reading comic books. Like, so I
was going to the gym, I guess.
Well, no, he didn't go to the gym. He didn't start going to the gym until he trained. He just happened to be skinny because that's his frame.
He's moving to the left,
bastards.
avoiding his opponent.
And then he also just shot up 6.5 feet in high school, but I only know that from listening to shoot interviews. And when he left WWE under the circumstances he did, I was extremely disappointed. Especially in the WWE, like, because of what they did to him. Like, it was just bullshit. But when I heard he was doing UFC, I was like, man,
He's gonna die.
bro, didn't you, like, have a major back surgery, like, not all that long ago, and you're trying to get in where they're, like, slamming you, like, and they're trying to hurt you, like,
Right.
they're trying to make sure you don't get up from that slam. Like, I mean, it doesn't sound like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I'm sure that check made sense. If you're a grown ass human being and you're still hung up over professional wrestling being performance art, you need to get over yourself, man. Like,
I feel like you're talking straight to your dad on that one.
kind of am. You old shithead. I'm gonna turn those kids that into fucking wrestling fans, I swear to God. And I looked at him, I said, if you'd have been nice to me about wrestling growing up, this wouldn't be happening to you. But because you were a dick, now you're gonna suffer. Because our new roommate, whose 3 kids they belong to, was a fan of wrestling for a little bit when she was in her 20s too. So I mean, she don't give a fuck if it's on. She'll sit there and watch it, even if she's making fun of it. And he's just like, oh god, can we watch something else? Like, he asked me, he was like, was I really that big of a dick? And I was like, Dad, you used to walk into my room when I was playing the video games. When I was playing the video games. Wasn't even watching real wrestling. Like, oh fuck, it's over. Oh, you ran out of gas, you stupid fucking motherfucker.
Jesus. Tell me what you really think about me.
I'm talking about Machida.
Yeah, right. Anyways.
He would come into the room with the games and be like, this shit's fake. Just walk the fuck out. It's like, thanks.
Ugh.
Or like, he'd watch it, and he'd watch these dudes take real steel chair shots to the face. And would just start laughing. And I'd look at him and be like, you know that dude's dead now, right? Like, you know he's dead, like, for real. Like, and they found that he has, like, a bunch of brain damage from all the headshots he took over the years. And he'd be like, wow, that's
fine.
Fucking, you know, there's
There's wrestling hospitals for that.
he was like, you know, there's football players who have real head injuries, and I'm just like, what the fuck ever, man. Like,
to have real head. Is there a severeness of head injury that I'm not aware of? Where it turns to fake and real quick?
Yeah, it turns to fake head injuries. Shit. Come here, you bastard.
You ain't gonna catch me there, laddie. I don't know why I turned Irish there for a second.
I appreciate you did that instead of doing a really offensive Asian accent. Thank you for making the editing job easier on yourself.
You know, it's funny, if this was actual, like, PE class, this would not be happening.
No. This would not. Ah, fucking
nowhere in the world
shit.
do you know, bare knuckle box with someone.
This isn't bare knuckle boxing, but I see what you're saying.
Please, I mean, the padding on that is very, very, very thin.
It's still padding, though. I'm just saying. They put tape! They put tape on their hands, and that's all they use. And that's just so their hands don't immediately break upon contact.
Oh, shit.
Come here.
What did you do? What did you do? It hurts. You're gonna break my guy.
Oh!
Got us again. I thought it was gonna be the end of the match. Like, no, too many body blows.
Too many body blows. I'm stopping the match. You have bruising on your ribs.
Oh,
and I want you to know that I'm superior to you in every way because I have a Nintendo Switch right now and you don't.
Shut the hell up, man. I gotta bring that shit up right now.
Because it's true.
That hurts my feelings.
It's, well, the truth hurts sometimes, Jose. Much like I'm gonna be alone forever, you don't have a Switch right now. You don't have a Switch right now, and the truth hurts. I'm gonna get you on the side of the head. Hook shot, never mind. So I've decided I'm going to teach you how to play NBA 2K, and that's also going to be a part of our PE.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's going to be a slow...
Remember the first time I tried playing that game? I'm like, why am I getting penalties?
Yeah, he didn't know why he was getting fouled. Or he was getting fouls. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I tried running back to the other side of the court to try to catch someone there.
With the ball. He tried to run to the backcourt with the ball. I couldn't fucking believe it. I was like, you know it's a backcourt violation.
I was like, no, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You can do this when you're playing at recess. I don't know why I can't do it here.
And you couldn't do it
while
recess.
My God!
What?
Oh my God!
No!
Yes.
No! Kiss my fucking ass.
Dude, you should have just stayed down. That was
Hell
awesome.
no, I'm not staying down for that shit. If I don't get to do that shit in the game, you don't get to do that shit.
Ugh. Oh. I didn't plan that, I promise.
I know you didn't plan that. That's the only reason why I'm not fucking mad as shit right now. Oh! Ah!
Shit. Man, we're just running out of stamina.
Yeah,
here.
we're at the point where we're just gassed.
My bad. All right, I see my misfortunes. I took lemonade and made lemons. That's probably not even that funny, but
It's funny to me, goddammit. Because that's you in a nutshell. We need to put that on a shirt. Took lemonade and made lemons.
just makes no goddamn sense.
What the fuck did you just say to me, Jose? You got nothing. You got nothing. That's why you couldn't connect. Because your man has nothing. That's why you're trying these bullshit desperate jump kicks. Because your man has nothing.
Come on. Come on.
Give me that. God, I wish they wouldn't let you
Christ.
be able to put the block up so quick.
Ah.
Single leg, takedown. Alright.
No, come on. James, fight me like a man. There we go.
No, we're just going to transition to north-south here.
No, we're not.
Transition
No,
to
we're
north-south. Give me, okay,
we're not.
yeah, you can roll over in that. Go right ahead.
No, we're not.
Fucking guillotine. Give
No,
me
we're
that.
not.
Give me that.
No, we're not. Oh, God, fucking damn it. No, we're not.
Give me that.
James, no, we're
Give me
not.
that. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Ah! Submissions are so hard when it's a human.
Why can't you be an AI?
Why can't you be an AI who only goes one direction? Like Zane.
Oh.
His
I
own
don't know why.
direction.
Oh, there.
Because it's sad. You didn't want him to leave.
Oh, come on, dude. Just let me get up.
No,
For the love
fuck
of
you.
God.
Fuck you, this is going to the cards.
Just fight like a man.
This is going to the cards. Fuck
Can I
you.
get the fuck up? It's Lyoto Machida here. He studied Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, or we're gonna do it like this. Here, posture up. Posture up.
Get up, get up, get up.
Posture
Oh.
up. Oh, you.
Oh.
Oh, you are a lucky lot of words that I don't like saying.
Man, he can't take too many of those body shots.
I
Just
throw
the
one thing,
weakest
and he's
fucking.
gassed.
It's just done.
Good roundhouse kick to the midsection.
Oh, shit. This is just
You know, he's in big
awful.
trouble here, Mike.
Alright, come here. Come here.
What are you gonna do? What do you really think you're gonna do?
Jesus. Nothing, apparently, because I got nothing. I got nothing left in the tank.
Straight punch.
This is gonna go to the cards. I don't think we're gonna be able to finish this fight.
Ah, no, it's not.
God,
Double
damn
leg high.
it.
Double
Stop
leg high.
it. Oh my God.
Take down.
Knock me out because of that. I would be so
I don't think you
pissed.
can knock people out. 'Cause
It's happened.
It has?
Rampage just did that to someone.
Well, I know you can in real life. I just don't think you can in fucking this game.
Can you imagine the force? You have the, you know.
Oh, dude, it would be.
Oh, fuck, no. No, James.
Yeah.
James. James.
Yeah.
You're a bitch.
Fuck you. With 40 seconds left, I'm the one who's a bitch.
Yeah, you're a bitch. I was winning that whole match.
What?
I'm
Hell.
gonna have professional UFC reviewers look at this.
You're gonna hire professional fucking scorekeepers
Yeah.
to do our matches from now on?
Yeah, I don't have that kind of money, but I'll figure it out.
Put it on the credit card.
Yeah, I'll pay it back later.
Alright then. Well,
Well,
buddy. It's gonna be an end to physical education. Once again, the nerd gets beaten down. And loses the fight. Because he can't stand with your boy.
we'll see next round.
Oh,
Next time.
will you?
Next
In
time
this
we'll
best in this best of Infinite series?
see. Yeah, and this best of him. Tally one for James.
We need to get a belt for this. We need to buy a replica WWE belt.
It's gotta be made out of plastic.
No, we're going to get a replica classic WWF title belt. And we're just going to, we're going to do public matches like this. Luke Rockhold is the winner by... Knockout. Knockout. He won by knockout. You want to know why? Because he got on top of Jose.
James, I know what you're talking about.
He got on top of Jose and punched him
I'm
in
not
the
putting
face.
this in any episode.
Repeatedly.
No.
Repeatedly.
No, not happening.
Have a nice day, everybody.
No, nope. No. Fuck all you.
Have a nice day.
No. No nice day for anyone. I lost today. So you lose. I made lemonade and lemons.
No podcast for you. The bell has rung, or I guess AV Club is technically an after-school program. So
Yeah.
so no bells are ringing. We're out of school now. We got our backpacks and snacks, and we're gonna sit here and talk about some movies. All three of us went to go see Thor Ragnarok. Who would like to go first?
I can.
Fuck, go right ahead.
So to preface this, I love the movie. I really have nothing bad to say about it. There's definitely some points in the movie where you were kind of caught off guard by something plot-wise, and they did a good job of just kind of moving on to the next thing really quick so you don't catch up to that. But
What do you mean by that exactly?
there's points in the movie, I'm trying to think back now, like when Hulk and Thor and the Jetquin, or the
Quinjet, yeah.
Quinjet or whatever. First off, how the fuck did that airplane, because it's an airplane, end up in space?
Well,
For one.
Is it an airplane, though?
Yeah.
They just call it a Quinjet. That doesn't necessarily mean it's only an airplane.
Well, that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's like they make everything so vague that you're just like, okay. You know, you just kind of move on with it.
Like, hopefully people don't ask questions.
Basically. The other thing is you saw you saw Hulk kind of getting flung out of it, and yet the ship is completely fine.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
There's a little video, and you see him getting, like, sucked out in the vacuum of space.
But the Quin's fine. Yeah, that's
but
weird.
the Quinn is completely fine. I'm just like, did they repair it? Did they just, like...
Well, it does. It was on autopilot.
So you think it just landed?
So yeah, it might have just
After it ejected him?
Yeah, after it got through the vortex, it might have just landed.
But anyways,
How
it's
did
just
they
like...
land in the same spot?
It's just those little things that kind of made me go...
Yeah.
You know, like, but wait a second, and then there would be a joke, or they would just move on to the next thing, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever.
I'll deal with it.
Because it's so minor and small that you're just like, okay.
Yeah, I mean that was something I didn't even really notice until you pointed it out right there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But yeah, no, I love the movie overall. It was definitely. I want there to be a clear winner in the superhero fights, but that's never going to happen. So.
There was a clear winner. What are you talking about?
Was there though?
Hulk won, like no question. Hulk jumped up in the air and landed down on top of him with his fist, and then Thor woke up. However many hours later.
No.
He had the thing on his neck.
Yeah, that's how he got knocked out. Was the
Oh yeah, that's right.
because Thor survived that shit, and that's when like his power awakened.
Yeah.
It's not
So
clear.
yeah.
And then it looked like Thor was about to like go at Hulk again, and then all of a sudden got
You don't
zapped.
want to read comics. Then.
Fucking
You,
shit.
you don't want to read comics, bro. You're never gonna get what you're looking for.
I know. and I know that I'm never
You
gonna
will
do that.
never be satisfied.
You will never be satisfied. You may as well give up now.
I just wanted to be like, okay, I clearly got knocked out. We're bros again. Whatever, you know.
But even
Just like in a real fight.
even Thor was basically covering for the fact that he lost. Like, and the thing is, Hulk would have just gotten back up
Right.
because he was in. It wasn't like in Ultron where he kind of had the moment where he's looking around and he's seeing all the people and he's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then Tony knocks him the fuck out when he's distracted. Like he would have just kept coming at him until Thor was dead, or he would have tried.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I kind of found it kind of weird that all of a sudden he's just like the God of Thunder. Like, you haven't seen that in the whole series, and all of a sudden he's like, yep, God of Thunder. All the
Thor's-
powers awaken and everything.
Thor's the god of thunder.
Yeah, Thor is the god.
Yes, but in the movies...
And that's not entirely true because in Avengers, the first one, when he grabs onto the Empire State Building and starts summoning
But
all the
it's still
lightning and
Mjolnir
kills
that's
them.
doing that shit.
All right, so you just watch this man summon lightning with his hands.
Look,
You're
all
trying
I'm
to tell me it was
saying-
all Mjolnir?
Yes.
I will choke you.
Because that's how it is in the comics, isn't it?
No, not always. I mean, the hammer grants him power, but not all of his power comes from
Like
Fair.
Odin said, it's a way for him to control it.
Right.
Not,
I mean, I like the
It's
explanation.
not the source of it.
I like the explanation of it. It's just, I don't know. I just find it...
I thought it was weird that they explained Mjolnir.
You think so?
Yeah, they didn't need to do that. It was just his hammer.
How do you think he's going to come back? Because you know Steve Rogers is
It
going
is
to will that
not
shit.
just a hammer. It's Thor's hammer. What do you mean?
Well, okay, I'm not
At this,
saying...
no, at this point, it's just a hammer. Like,
What,
Helena just
what I meant by that wasn't
pops
like...
like a pimple.
It's not, it's how he controls his... It's just, he has a magic hammer that he can summon lightning with. It didn't... Like, it was already explained. You didn't really need to, like, oh no, it's actually how you control these lightning powers that you have. That's...
Well, I think for you guys, but like for some people, it's like it makes it seem like that is the source of his power. Like that's the only reason why the lightning is coming to him.
Was Mjolnir, right?
Yeah, but it's not. Like he has the power, but he doesn't know how to control it, or he didn't know, which is why he has it.
And then now he's Raiden.
Right. I love that fucking shout out.
I know, that's... I when you pointed that out, I thought back on it, I was like, oh shit, that's fucking crazy. And he did do the fucking... What'd you think of it?
I thought it was really good. It was really lighthearted.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things about it that bothered me, just in the sense of like mythology.
You know what? Here,
but I know
let's-
it's a comic.
Let's do this. Spoilers, because this is getting
Well,
spoiled.
yeah, obviously.
So,
Okay.
feel free to talk about it.
One, her name is just Hel. She's not Hella. Like, she's not Hella.
Well, that was hella cool.
She's hella evil, but her name is Hel. She rules over Hell. and she is actually Loki's daughter. She's not. Oh, they're not siblings. Whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too.
That bugged me. They just like throw it at you, like, oh, by the way, you have a sister.
Yeah, here you go, buddy.
Oh, no, here you go. Like,
Never
not
mentioned
even
this
wondering.
once.
Like, never once. Like, were they like, how did our kingdom come to be? Like, how old is it? But they were just like, you know what? We're fucking royalty. Who cares? Anyways.
I mean, I did kind of like that because that is exactly how a royal family would be.
You know what though? That makes you think how old is
They're
fucking
not
Odin?
only royalty, but they're like gods. Thor and Loki. They're like, you know, this is just how it is.
Well, I guess, yeah. They never question it. They're
Yeah.
never just like, huh, that's weird. Why did Dad lie to us our whole lives? Like,
Dad was once a piece of shit. Huh.
wow, that's crazy. You're a fucking asshole.
But no, it's really funny. I think they were able to bring it like to serious points when it needed it to be, like in the fights, for the most part. And it's Thor. He's always portrayed as pretty goofy.
Yeah, even in the first two movies, he's
Even like in not just comics and mythology, but like in books and like fictional stuff.
it fits.
A goof.
And that's the thing is, tonally, it's. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
Are you good?
go ahead.
Okay. Tonally, it's super uneven. Because they let certain things breathe, but like the stuff with Valkyrie and her alcoholism, they kind of just sort of like, we're laughing at this woman because she's addicted.
Yeah.
Like,
You
and
think
they
her and
just,
Tony hook up and it's the worst relationship ever?
she's just throwing bottles of fucking Jack at his head, just shit. And they just move past it and don't
Yeah.
really acknowledge it again.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with the Banner thing. So he turns back into Hulk, so is Banner gone?
Right.
Yeah.
Because he said he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to come back.
but at the same
after...
time, he wasn't sure. Like he's like, there's no telling what's gonna happen to me. I have to risk it. Like there's no way he can't.
He'll see Black Widow and then he'll turn back into him.
So
She almost
when,
started.
oh my god! When her face popped up and he was like,
Hey, big guy.
his face was just like, I know her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
Who's
my
that?
god,
Is
my
that
heart.
Pretty Redhead Lady? Who's that?
Like
The
a puppy.
Funniest
coming home.
two moments in the movie were in the gladiator fight when Hulk walks out and Loki goes, "I need to get off this planet
Oh
right
my
now."
God.
Like,
Oh, and when it happens to Thor,
And he was so
like,
fucking nervous, he's just like, fuck.
yeah, just like I hope he doesn't see me. Like, and then when, like you said, when Thor and gets, it's literally the same exact shot. He's like, "That's how it feels.
Yeah.
That's how it feels."
that was
shit's
so
fucking
good.
ridiculous.
And then what's his name was like, what are you talking about?
Jeff Goldblum is the man.
I do love Jeff.
Like,
His orgy ship.
or the post-credit scene where he's just like, well, I feel like you guys did a good job because you had someone good to rebel against, so we'll call it a tie.
Yeah,
It's
that
like,
was-
it's fucking
that's good.
awesome.
You know, I did like that they did that with your orgy ship because it went from like, oh, this grandiose ship to he just fucks in it.
Yeah. That was the thing with this movie is they did not, like, at several points, Thor was like, oh, shit. And it's just normal.
Yeah.
Like, they don't treat it like it's any, you know,
Yeah.
like with the Cap thing, with the language. It's a funny joke, but
Yeah.
it's like, in this movie, they're just like, no, we're adults, we
'Cause-
swear. Like, sorry.
We're ancient beings. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, I'm 900 years old and I look like I'm 25.
I like how the Doctor Strange cameo was basically like, here's the front door, here's the back door.
I
Yeah.
did like that.
I thought it was really smart, and they need to start doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just have people just show up because the universe is so big now
Mm-hmm.
that like Daredevil could show up in a Spider-Man movie and it shouldn't be a big deal, or
Right.
Luke Cage should, and it shouldn't be a big deal. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? It's just they're here for a minute and then they leave.
Right.
Unlike you, I hated the fight scenes. Almost,
You hated the fight scenes.
Really?
almost all of them.
Really?
I thought they were almost impossible to watch. I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on in any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the thing with Scourge, Carl Urban's character, was really fucking cool. That was ripped straight out of the comics. If you check out, I think it's Joe Simonson is his name. His run on Thor is probably widely considered to be the greatest run that Thor's ever had. So check that out, and that's part of where that came from. The Rock dude was fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
What is his name?
Korg, I think.
Korg.
Yeah, Korg or something like that.
Who's Cog? I don't know.
Hey, I'm getting on the spice.
I love him.
That's the
I want
director.
to be his friend.
What?
That's the director.
That's the director?
That's the director.
No shit. That's fucking awesome.
He was
Hey, bro.
probably.
Hey, bro.
Oh my god, it was very like how you love Groot in the Guardians of the Galaxy,
And
I just love him so
He's
much.
so
He's the
sweet.
greatest thing.
He's so,
Oh, I accidentally stepped on him.
Oh, hey, you're alive.
oh hey, look.
He's so excited about it. He's
Oh
so
well,
like
I printed flies for the revolution, but I didn't get them out in time. Only
he's like
Only when mom and her boyfriend showed up.
whom I hate.
he's great. He's
Fucking
just like
awesome.
pretty complacent, but like really really nice.
Mhm.
He's
And then when he gets the
a
opportunity
nice
to help,
dude.
he just always does.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't really know what's going on, but yeah, I'll help you.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get
We're gonna get on the ship.
yeah, we're gonna get on the ship. You want to come with us?
Like,
Come with.
You guys seem like you're in dire need of leadership. Oh well, that's so nice of you.
oh man, yeah, I'm really happy he was a thing in that.
I am so worried that a lot of them are gonna die at the start of Infinity War.
No,
Because
don't
the
even talk about
because the
it.
start of because the trailer in Infinity War, Thor lands on the windshield of the Guardian ship, and I'm like, so
It could be that Loki betrays him and contacted Thanos.
no. Here's the other thing that they need to stop doing now.
Hold on a second.
Loki cannot betray Thor anymore. It's over. It's done with.
They dealt with it.
They dealt with
Fair
it.
enough.
It's over.
Yeah.
It does not need to happen anymore.
Right.
If it happens again, I'm legitimately going to be annoyed.
It is annoying, but it's literally his character flaw.
I know, but even in the comics, after a certain point, Loki kind of gets his shit together, and it's like, all right,
It's too predictable at this point.
I
He's
can't.
like, it's not funny anymore.
It's not funny. Well, he's like, I can't keep doing this for the rest of my life. Like, I have to, and that's what I want to see. I'd be way more interested in seeing Loki legitimately try to
Develop.
yeah, like try to figure out what he wants to because he ain't gonna be king of shit. Like,
Yeah.
never.
So I also kind of like what they did at the end, where they all went on the spaceship, because they kind of turned Thor into what the hell's his name? Ray's character, the horse-looking guy.
Oh, Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah, Beta Ray Bill, because that's his whole shtick in the comics, right? That he's set adrift with his people and he's the only survivor.
I don't know much about Beta Ray Bill's backstory. He's always just kind of shown up, and it's just like, oh shit, that's Beta Ray Bill.
Well, to be honest, my first interaction with him was on the Marvel TV show, so and that was it. He was set adrift, and he was deemed worthy by Mjolnir, and yeah, kind of went from there. Mjolnir.
Yeah. So they totally were just like, see you, Natalie Portman. Like,
Yeah,
fuck
fuck
off.
you.
Like,
Yeah. You're not interesting.
we don't care about you anymore.
You're not interesting in this. You're not interesting in Star Wars.
You were hey.
Don't
Hey, what?
talk shit about Natalie Portman. I
Oh,
swear
come
to
on.
God.
Fucking Padme got fucked by bad writing. All right, it is not.
They're sand.
It's not her
Sand
fault.
everywhere.
She's a great actress.
She's a
and
great
she's very
actress.
beautiful.
Fuck fucking fight you. So
I just don't think she had a place in Thor anymore. Anyways,
Right.
like,
they're trying to get it out and
Yeah.
away from Earth. So
Yeah.
you're right. And on top of that, she didn't want to come back after they got rid of Patty Jenkins on the second one. That was her director, basically. She was like, if you want anyone to direct this, you need to get her. She's amazing. She will knock this out of the park, blah, 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 blah. And then they fired her. And then after that, she was like, all right, this is my last one. I'm not doing these anymore.
Yeah.
If you're going to ask me for suggestions and then literally hire the person and then fire them and replace them with the person you wanted in the first place.
It was like,
What the
waste
fuck's the
of
point?
time.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised that they got her the fuck out of there.
Well, outside of like external,
It was neutral.
directional stuff, the storyline, there really is no.
Yeah, there's no point for her anymore. Only if they do the thing that they did in Siege, where Thor makes a new Asgard on Earth, and because in that he basically takes a whole bunch of land in Oklahoma, just plains, and he just builds a new Asgard. And at first he just rules over it by himself, and then more Asgardians kind of start coming back and filtering in, and then Jane comes back through that. But so if they do that, then maybe Jane can come back. But
Thor and Valkyrie. I don't care.
yeah, and that's
I
the
saw
other thing.
That too. I'm glad that like nothing like cemented that though in the movie because it would have been pointless and just like.
I would find it interesting if in Infinity War they make kind of like a love triangle between the Hulk, Thor, and Valkyrie,
No, I think for like the Hulk and Valkyrie thing was just
like friends.
yeah.
She
It's
literally
totally,
treated him like a dog.
companionship. Yeah.
Like, he was like, and then she fucking went in
Yeah.
and like took him
It's
down
totally
and shit.
like companionship, like a dog.
Banner might like her
Yeah.
more than, but other than that,
I think Banner's his woman is Widow for sure.
Right.
yeah.
Like she literally kept him from turning into a beast.
Well, and
There's
you know
no
what?
stronger love than that.
And you know what I like is that whole hey big guy, sun's coming down. that's everyone's thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cute. I was like,
That
oh,
is
it's
really
not
cute.
just
Hibbiga.
Sun's coming down. Sun coming down.
Yeah, I thought the Ruffalo stuff was hilarious. That was
Yeah.
probably the funniest he's been in all of these movies.
Yeah,
Where he's just like,
because he's usually pretty like serious for the most part.
yeah, tame, but he's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? What?
Well, his
2
like
years.
you said, he's like
2 years. Like he was 2 years as the Hulk. Like
Mm-hmm.
oh my! I told Dad that the Hulk talks in this, so I came home and I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna like this one. Hulk finally talks, and he was laying back in his recliner and he sat up and he was like, what?
It's happened.
It's like, are you serious? He really starts talking? And I'm just like, because that was that and the Flash were the only 2 comics my dad ever read.
Oh.
Like, and so when the Flash.
I think he'd probably love this.
Oh yeah, he'll love the shit out of this. Thank you for joining us on the inaugural episode of After School Special. Like I said earlier, my name's James.
My name is Jose.
And my name's Melissa.
And our 4th, Tiara, would join us today, but she got lost somewhere on the yellow brick road. So hopefully we will find her next time. Have a good one.